Welcome to EJ's Gym, a guide to elevate your mindset. Yo, I got my boy on the line all the way in South Dakota. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
What's up, everybody? My name is Vincent Leno. I'm living in South Dakota, but I was born and raised in Miami, age 35, class of '03 at Miami Central Senior High School. That's a little bit.
Mr. 9 Picks, though, we're going to get into that. But first, before we even get into that, let's talk about even before high school. When did you start playing football? When did you decide to play football at Central and whatever the case may be?
Well, it was kind of crazy, man. I'm really considered like a late bloomer. I really ain't started playing tackle football until I was 15. I had the opportunity to play, but as far as the financial side, on asking my mom, I was like, you know what, I'm not even finna ask. I'll play whenever I play.
Yeah.
So I ain't started until I was 15. I was always the littlest guy.
Yeah.
I was still learning the game, but a lot of the stuff that you learn from playing on street football with your friends, it kind of translate. But as far as the aspect of the game, as far as the plays, the setup, the execution, and all that stuff, man, you really got to learn actually playing the game, man.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really I only played 2 years of little league football. 1 year at Bunch Park. Shout out to Bunch Park.
Mm-hmm.
Another year at Scott Lake.
Lake.
I met some dogs.
Ballers.
You got Bunch Park. Yeah. Bunch Park. You got the Teddy Bridgewaters and etc. Scott Lake. You got the Kenny Phillips. I played with those boys, and I ain't know how good I was until I watched them. But at the same time, as far as the high school thing, my 9th and 10th grade, I was at Central, then I kind of left Central for like one semester, and I went to Braddock. I kind of like tried to do the academic side of it because so like my 10th grade year, I actually played JV at Braddock, and I only was there for like just that football season, and just the travel part from coming from the inner city, going way down south, football practice. I mean, I literally had to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't get home until 8 o'clock. I mean, it was like mentally draining, but it was a good learning experience because I actually, like, if I would have known what I know now, that would have prepared me for, high school, college, far as the effort and the mentality that you got to set. Like, hey, if this is what I want to do, I'm gonna have to put in that work,
Right.
But I really didn't see that or have somebody really tell me that's what I needed to do to accomplish what I wanted to accomplish.
Gotcha.
But fast forward to the 11th grade, I went back to Central. I was really a nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody knew who I was. I was 5'7", 135 pounds.
Man,
Still
you were small. You were small.
I'm just trying to. Yeah. Yeah, just trying to find my way. I played backup quarterback, receiver. I was never the fastest. I was never the biggest. But one thing I can say is I was really a student of the game. My 11th grade year, I played corner. And there were certain routes, and I can see certain things where I started catching the coach's eye. It was like, hey, who is this kid? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I'm just balling, but practice was hard for us, especially for me, 11th grade, because you had the Darnell Jenkins.
Yeah, Marcus, Willie.
Yeah. I mean, you had both Marcus. You had Marcus Daniels and Marcus Williams. I mean,
Marcus was good too. I forgot about Marcus.
Yeah. You had the list of phenomenal athletes, not only athletes, but they was fast, man. I mean, like, crazy fast. And like a little short story, I don't know if you remember it, EJ, but I remember 11th grade tour days, and you know how we out there practicing, sweating, grinding. And Nuke came out of nowhere, you know what I'm saying? Like he drove on the field with his old Chevy. He came to practice, just literally came to practice one time, you know, took a little freshman uniform and gear and all that type of stuff, and just came out and just routed us in one-on-ones. I mean, that's when I knew, like, hey, that guy is special. I'm like, how can I even get anywhere remotely close to him if this guy can literally just come off the streets, come to practice, and just route every DB in one-on-one? Like, he showed us that, hey, the hard work that he was putting in, maybe that you didn't see him doing the work, but he was still working. And that was crazy to me. But 11th grade, you know, I didn't really play that much. You know what I'm saying? I got some, you know, package deal as far as corners, but we were stacked 11th grade too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You had the Shin Holster.
Yeah.
Who else? I mean, it was just like, I look at these guys now. You had Alex Saunders. I mean, those guys really showed me, like, hey, this ain't no game. High school, this is where it's at. Especially when you play at one of the top programs, especially now looking back at it, as far as, you know, the Miami Centrals, the Northwestern, the Jackson, Killian, and all them boys. I mean, shout outs to them too. But it was a rivalry that we established, but I didn't really know nothing about it because I was, you know, 11th grade. I didn't know. I was just playing to play, you know, just trying to find my way in life. But, you know, didn't really play that much 11th grade. You know, senior year came around and it was really like my calling card. You know what I'm saying? It was either I was gonna play or I wasn't. Practice was like hard for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, hard. I mean, you had yourself, EJ, when you pull coming across that corner, I'm like, man, look here, man. We had practice, chill out, you know? But at the same time, but at the same time, we practice how we played. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
we did.
Y'all boys made me better. Like, I think my biggest outcome out of me playing high school was I didn't want to be a failure to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all were up there to me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all set that bar so high for me. I'm like, man, I just want to be a part of it. You know, my 12th grade year, man, I can honestly say, man, it was the best season of my life.
Yeah, you had 9 interceptions in Miami-Dade County, boss.
All levels. yeah, I had 9. Technically, you know, I led the state of Florida. You know, I had those accolades, but I really didn't feel like I had belonged because I didn't really work as hard as I should have. You know, you know, us DBs, you know, we kind of snuck out of the weight room a lot. You know what I'm saying? Essentially, you know, when y'all boys
Regis, Regis, Thomas.
hey, me, Regis, Dooney, Thomas. Hey, you know, one thing I can say, little LD stayed, you know what I'm saying? Because he had that mindset, you know what I'm saying? Him and Ali, they were on a whole different level. So they grind. And I didn't know how to grind like that. But you know, the first game of the season when we played Killian, man, I watched film. And like I said, I wasn't the biggest, I wasn't the fastest. But like when we had those film studies, I literally watched those things and I could see things, formations down in distance. Like I can analyze all those things where, you know, normally people can't, you know, they're just playing and reacting, you know. And I remember it to this day, you know what I'm saying? It was 11 personnel. They had this great tight end at Killian, and his favorite route was a 5-yard out. I can remember it, and I seen it. I said, they came out in that formation. I said, man, I'm jumping this. No matter what happened, I'm jumping this. All behold, that was my first interception. I ran it back for 40 yards. I felt like the top dog of the world.
House work. Boy, I was so happy for you, boy. I was on the sideline going crazy, baby. I look my boy Vince. Okay.
Yeah. That's what's up. And so, you know, after that, it really like built the confidence in me that, you know, I can play at the highest level. You know, I still had a little doubts as the season went on, man. I mean, we had one of the greatest seasons ever, even with our like little trials and tribulations. Like we were nationally ranked 4th in the country, you know what I'm saying, within the first 5 games of the season. What we was averaging like maybe 3 points a game, if that, on defense the whole season. Like we were balling, and not to mention the offense. shit, first play of the game was a bomb.
Yep.
More than likely, it was to the crib.
Always.
So that was just amazing to me. But yeah, as the season went on, man, my confidence started growing, but I still didn't have the mentality as far as the working out. I just figured, hey, I come to practice, I ball in games, every Monday or after the game, we read the newspaper. We all get a little newspaper, get the little clippings, and I still got them to this day, just the memories that we have, But like playing against like the Devin Bowes of the world, the Willie Pope at Norland, shout outs to them because they won state that year. So I got to give them their props.
Yeah.
Who
was it? Dwayne Bowe and Willie Pope, right? And then
yeah. Dwayne Bowe and Willie Pope, man, they were averaging like 150 yards a game, man. Like Dwayne Bowe, they were, hey, throw it up.
Norland.
Okay.
Yeah. But go ahead. Yeah. What did you say about Dwayne Bowe?
And yeah, man. I mean, like, now that I look back at, especially with all their accolades and how far they went in their careers and stuff, and what we did to them that game was phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? We helped the best duo in receiving to 3 catches for like 40 yards. You know what I'm saying? Dwayne Bowe only had 1 catch for 5 yards. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? We were balling, I mean, it probably wasn't the prettiest game ever, but, during the rain, we still scored over 40 points or something like that. I mean, shout out to the offense.
We was unstoppable. We was unstoppable, bro. We was unstoppable on offense. Especially throwing the ball. Throwing the ball was our thing. Like when we got Jannard could really hit it. You know what I'm saying? At was the speed. But throwing the ball, couldn't nobody touch us. Courtney was throwing dimes out there, baby.
I mean, when you had the speedsters like, you know what I'm saying, Marcus and Willie and Lil Marcus out there, man, you just got to get it to them. You know what I'm saying? When you get it to them, they gone. They gone, man. I mean, I used to be like, man, y'all need to slow down because I'm tired, man. I don't want to go back out in defense.
So how many touchdowns did you score that year?
I think it was about 3, if I ain't mistaken. But I mean, I really hold on to the interceptions. You know what I'm saying? Because me being the size that I was, I mean, even to this day, I'm still not the biggest, I'm the most I ever weighed was 150 pounds.
Wow.
But I had that mentality, you know what I'm saying? I had that mentality, and I was a student of the game where my mental game elevated me more than my talent did. I knew I didn't have the 4.3 speed, the 4.4 speed to run with everybody like that, but I knew to put myself in a position where, hey, when it's ball in the air, I got to go get it myself. But yeah, that season was crazy. And like, I still talk about it to this day, just like you do. Like we started off, amazing. And then we had a little hiccup, I call it, far as them, having to forfeit our games because, our brother, they say wasn't ineligible to play. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to Brian Patter. You know what I'm saying? We still love him. We love him for it that day. But I really think that helped us elevate, because when we got called to the locker room, when they call us to the locker room, we like, man, what's going on? We balling, we balling. We 5-0. We beating everybody. I think Jackson was the only one to score a touchdown against us. They had or whatever it was. Like we were balling, shutting teams out. And when they told us that, our first 5 games were forfeited, and we went from 5-0 to 0-5, we like, man,
what?
How?
Yeah.
And we kids, we 17 years old, just trying to understand what happened. Was it our fault? You know what I'm saying? And obviously there are certain things out of control. I mean, somebody knew about it.
Yeah.
They blew the whistle at the right time.
I heard it was the West because we beat them that week. I'm just saying.
I don't know who it was,
but just saying.
But at the same time, like I said, man, we actually we wasn't mad at Brian.
Of course not.
Yeah. Brian came to us from, I think it was North Miami. You know what I'm saying? And he, once you get on the field with us at Central, it's a brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you got to earn your way, but when you earn it, you win.
Yeah.
And I think after we figured out or found out that we had lost our 5 games, even though we won, I think that day of practice was the best practice we ever had. You know what I'm saying? Like we were laser locked focused. You know what I'm saying? And I think we had the West that week. You know what I'm saying? And big games between
Yeah.
Central and Northwest, and those are live. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
Yeah.
Trash
Yeah.
Powell is packed. You got the bands playing. Man, I look back at that. I don't even know how I even focused because it
I
was just the
know.
magnitude of
Yeah.
everything was going on.
Mm-hmm.
But we actually, we did our thing against Northwestern. I can't say I didn't have no pick Northwestern game because Regis got me that game.
Right.
But like I said, I was a student of the game, so I knew certain things that they were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And between me and Regis, like whenever you ran 2 safeties, I always picked the side. And I knew it was coming on his side. And Regis was like, nah, you know something. I'm going on that side. He got at the pick that time. but
Right.
I ain't mad. You know what I'm saying? We teammates, so we all gotta eat. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I can truly say our secondary was pretty good. Like
Really
not
good.
everybody knew me, especially. They might have knew after the season went on, hey, that number 9 might be he kind of decent. But you had Dooney. Dooney was locking it down, man.
Yeah.
Like I wish I had his size and length.
Yeah.
When he covered, man.
Mm-hmm.
And when that boy came up to hit somebody, he
Yeah.
was hit.
I
You know
got
what
to
I'm
get
saying?
Dooney on the
And you had
line, baby. I got to get Dooney on the line, man. I got to get in contact with him,
and then
man.
yeah. And then you had Thomas, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Thomas was like, people thought that he was the weakest link, but he wasn't. It
Mm-hmm.
was just that everybody else was just so good. So
Yeah.
it was like, hey, if we're gonna try to take a shot, that's our only alternative. You know what I'm saying? And Thomas was holding it down, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the greatest thing about our secondary was the communication.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can tell Regis, like, hey, I know this coming. I'm finna gamble. I need your help over top.
Mm-hmm.
And absolutely every time, man. If I miss, Regis was right there to cover me, man. So it was
Yeah.
like we planned it. We
Yeah.
were improvising. We
Yeah.
might didn't follow what Coach Saunders was saying sometimes, but but for Regis always knew that as far as me mentally, I knew that something was coming. And
Right.
9 times out of 10, I made it happen. We
Right.
stopped him on this play or whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
But our senior year, it ended up we had to get lucky. We went from 0-5, like I said. We had to get lucky. We had to pray that teams lose to sorry teams just to get into the
Just to
playoffs.
get in. And we won every game.
And just to get we won every game with no hiccups. I mean, we beat Carol City that year. We beat the New Orleans. We beat Jackson. We beat the West.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We beat everybody in Dade County. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? We went from 5-5, barely made it into playoffs. So we basically was playing the number 1 seed versus the other
number one
seed, but technically by record.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was a semifinal exhibition game, first round. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? We end up losing. That game hurt me. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. That was my last game as playing in a Rocket uniform. Man, I cried like a baby when I got home. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that thing hurt, man. I'm not gonna lie. I was ring chasing, man, because I felt like that was like not necessarily saying that was my only opportunity, but I just knew we were supposed to have a state championship. So like me getting in the coaching is because I wanted a ring. I wanted to finish it. It's because I never did that. That's why I got in the coaching, man. But go ahead.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you know what I'm saying? We ended up losing the plan. So out of all my accolades and all that stuff, like, the first team all day, I got elected to the day All-Star game versus Broward, with the best, you know what I'm saying? And I went to practice like, hey, do I really belong? You know what I'm saying? Do I really belong? These guys was phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? I still got the picture of the first team all day in my closet, just looking at it, like the names on that list was, you had guys that went to the NFL, national champions, and all that type of stuff, man. I was a part of that group. But I didn't really get the recognition that I thought I should have got when I look back at it because I didn't have any college offers. You know, even leading the state and interceptions in Florida is like one of the top states when you come to football, period. And my name was up there, you know what I'm saying? But obviously I didn't have the size. Um, maybe that had something to do with it, you know, but so out of high school on signing day, I didn't sign nowhere, you know. Um, it was kind of heartbreaking to me because I only had one official recruiting trip, and that was at Tennessee State. And I can say that, you know, they did show some love, but nobody ever said, "Hey, Vince, we finna offer you this full scholarship," or nothing like that. Like
Right.
nobody talked to me about none of that. So I didn't know anything. You know, I was up there having fun, partying. You know, you doing your recruiting
Yeah.
trips. You know, nothing really said nothing about school.
Right.
So when signing day came, I didn't even know when signing day was, but I just knew everybody was down in the library. I mean, we
Yeah.
signed what y'all boys signed about 21
It
21
was,
guys to
I forget how
Division
many.
One, Division One AA.
Yeah. I
So
forget it
I mean,
was.
we had the program.
Yeah.
So, but you know, I was really like that was it for me. You know, but shout out to Chevin Pace. You know, A Trump man. He had signed a letter of intent to the University of Akron, and he had called me. He was like, "Man, how about you come up there?" I'm like, "Man, sure." You know what I'm saying? So, luckily for him, you know, he talked to his DB coach like, "Hey, you know, I got my boy. You
Yeah.
know, he played with me. He sent the stats. You know, I gave him my, you know, back then, you know, they ain't had the YouTube or the EJ Gems to broadcast of what you was doing."
Yeah.
You know, but you know, my highlight tape, he got me. He told me to come walk on. So obviously I had to pay to go to school. It was Division One, you know what I'm saying, out of the MAC, aka, you know. So I went there and doing the walkout thing, you know, they have like certain things that you gotta accomplish, you know, far as you gotta have a certain time in the 110. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to basically be more conditioned.
Oh, your cardio
Far as
test.
speed,
Yeah.
agility, and all that type of stuff. Yeah, you got to be right, you
Yeah.
know. And I didn't think I had to do all that because you know I'm Mr. All Day, All State. I mean, they lucky I'm coming, right? You know. But all in all, man, I had
Yeah.
met this one guy named Marcus Patterson. He's out of New York. He was walking on with me, man.
Yeah.
But he had a different mindset. You know what I'm saying? He was hungry. He was driven, man. I mean, we both were small in size, but like that year, man, I worked out with him, man. Like he worked out. I never did that before, especially in high school, like
Right.
really into and working out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He ran. Um, he actually helped me get faster, man. When I say I turned my legit 4.7 in high school to a legit 4.4. Like I was
Whoa.
starting to go
Whoa.
after people. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Instead of me taking angles,
Yeah.
yeah, like he had me running in the pool, like his like the training that me and him did that 1 year that I was there at Akron was like I was like, if I would have known I could have did that in high school, man, I could have been even better than I was.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
I could have been compared to the Ali's, the Brian Patters, the Marcus Daniels. You know what I'm saying? I could have been up there with the Courtney Densons. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Man,
saying?
you
The
was.
cream
What
of
do
the
you
world.
mean? What you talk about? You
But
was. You on the all-day picture. You played on the team. You did everything that they did. What you talking about?
man, man, I just feel like personally, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really think I was good enough. You know what I'm saying? Especially my size. I was the littlest person on the team, one of the littlest. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I had a big heart. You know what I'm saying? I was smart, and like I didn't want to let y'all down. I mean, that was my biggest fear of having to go back to the huddle and have to tell Lee, Ali, Thump, you know what I'm saying, Brutus,
Yeah.
that hey, I missed that tackle. Nah, they ain't playing with none of that. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
They ain't playing with none of that. So that y'all boys made me better because I balled out just so I didn't get chewed out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and it's funny you say that, like the pressure, because the same thing for me, my sophomore year, my junior year, the same thing you said with Nuke. We knew as an offense the type of talent we had. So I couldn't go back to the huddle missing a block, knowing that every time I make a block, it could potentially be a touchdown when this dude touched the ball. So I got to do my job. You know what I'm saying? So that was the same thing. And I think that's that same pressure that we always put on because everybody around us was so good. It challenged us to take our game to the next level. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's also bragging routes too. Bragging routes. You never want to lose to the West. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, for sure.
I mean, we got family, we got cousins, you know what I'm saying, or even college teammates that went to rival schools, you know.
Yeah.
Like you gotta have that bragging route, like when it comes to them, because they gonna always throw it back at you. You know what I'm saying? They gonna always throw it back at you. Shout outs to the West because
hey, my little cousin went there. I give him a hard time.
Carol Cities of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, but we had some great people come out of Miami Central, like, you know, Willis McGahee, Davenport, Najee Davenport. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
Forever.
So, but just for me to be that, you know, unknown hero, that's why I call myself sometimes that nobody knew who I was, and to be like you say up there with them. Not necessarily up there with him, but I just wanted to be in the same room as him. You know what I'm saying? And I still think that's kind of special to me. But you know, my freshman year, University of Akron, I made the team. I still had that Miami mentality that, you know what I'm saying, I was better than everybody. Like I went from walking on, and then I'm seeing these guys that got these 4 scholarships, these 4-star, you know, recruits, 3-stars, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it was sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like compared to where we was coming from, I'm like, man, like how did you get a scholarship? You know what I'm saying? And I'm struggling, you know. And I still had that mentality. Like you can ask Stump, man. Like their best receiver, I was covering him. I ain't care if he was 6'7", whatever it may be, so be it. You know what I'm saying? I always feel if I'm gonna get routed, it's gonna be routed. I'm gonna get routed in practice. I ain't gonna get routed in no game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? University of Akron had this quarterback named Charlie Fry. That's the only quarterback I remember Charlie Fry. I did not get an interception on.
Really? He was good though. Charlie Fry was good.
Yeah, Charlie Fry, like, man, he was on NFL level, like far as timing and everything, man. I mean, the closest I ever got to getting a pick from him was like literally diving.
What? That's why he played in the NFL. He did play in the NFL.
Yeah, he did. He played for Cleveland Browns and stuff like that. But after my freshman year, you know, we had some little test scores, things that kind of messed up my eligibility. So, you know, like I said, I was paying for school. You know, grandma was co-signing my loans, and she told me I only had 1 year to basically prove to the school that, you know what I'm saying, to put me on scholarship. So I ended up going back home after my freshman year. I mean, I did all the work that I should have did in high school, and then, you know, I had to basically go back.
Yeah.
So I was at Miami-Dade Community College for like a semester as far as the spring or whatnot. And then, you know, our boy Regis Richardson, he was like, hey man, we all finna go to this junior college in Minnesota, Minnesota West Community College. And, you know, they got a little JUCO team or whatnot. I'm like, hey, I ain't doing nothing. You know, sometimes it's better for me to lead a career, because obviously the longer I stick around, I'm gonna get in trouble.
Right.
You know, whatever, because, you know, or, you know, just Miami, it's not what everybody think it is as far as they see on TV. You know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff happens. Like it's more of a survival. You got to know what you got to know, and you got to know when to go.
When to go, when not to be there is not your time to be there. You need to get out.
Yeah, it's time to go. It's time to go. So, Regis, I went to his JUCO in Minnesota. I still had the mindset. I was really angry. You know what I'm saying? Like I was angry about how things worked out. I went from basically a walk on, then I get to the team Division 1, I'm balling, and then bam, right back to the crib. You know what I'm saying? So we go to the junior college, and I end up starting right away at corner. Um, Me and Regis actually, we went from both playing safety in high school to corner, which we should have been doing regardless, you know. And our defensive coordinator at the time at the school, he knew what he had because he had a whole bunch of guys from Florida on his team. You know what I'm saying? Because we basically recruited everybody to come up there. So you had guys from Carol City, Central, you know what I'm saying, up there balling.
What Brutus up there with y'all too?
We ain't run no safety because you had me and Regis at Brutus had came after I had left. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we had some dogs, and I end up, you know, being second team conference and all that other stuff. We were undefeated into the championship game. I kind of, like I said, I had that bad mentality as far as, you know, I was basically young and dumb if I look at it. I got into it with the coach, you know, because I thought I knew everything, you know, like I told him like, hey man, like you ain't really teaching me nothing. Everything I really learned was from high school, and I was at this D1, you know, like I'm balling, don't get me wrong, but don't think that you elevated because of what you learned or what you teaching me. I'm like, nah, I've been doing this for a while, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, he basically that championship game, he basically benched me. And we end up losing. Yeah, it's crazy because I was still arrogant about it, you know. So like when I was on the sideline, I stood next to him. I called out every play I called out every play that they was doing. Every play.
I know he didn't like that.
Running to the left, running to the right. Actually, like for the game winner, you know what I'm saying? Like when they scored, that would have been where I would have been at. You know what I'm saying? And after the game, after we lost that championship game, you know, I went up to him, I shook his hand, and I told him, thank you for letting me on your team, and I left, you know. So I went back to the crib again, because obviously I still had that Miami mentality, like I really didn't care about anything. Especially you ain't paying for me to go to school. I'm doing all this on my own. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta get a job, even though I can't have a job. I gotta go to football practice. You know what I'm saying? I gotta have an apartment. I gotta eat. I gotta do all this stuff. Like I'm on grown man stuff with no job. You know. So another buddy of mine, Michael Johnson, DJ out of Carol City, he was going to Mankato State, which was a Division 2. He had told me to come out there with him. And, you know me, you know what I'm saying? Hey, all right.
Try again.
I'll try this football thing one more time. You know what I'm saying? Let me go out there. And instantly, just like University of Akron, just like the JUCO, you know what I'm saying? I'm balling. I'm going against their best receiver in practice. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing what I got to do. I'm earning respect. You know, I didn't really have the grades then, so I couldn't play right away. So I had to wait out a year. And so I'm just balling, but I'm still a walk-on. You know, I got an apartment with no job, gotta go to practice, gotta go to school. Like the different mindset that you gotta have when you hit these different levels is you gotta elevate. And I still was like on high school level.
I love it.
But like I said, I got into it with the coach there too, because I ain't learned. You know what I'm saying? I still ain't learned. About that incident, you know, it was after practice. You know, we coming out of the locker room, and I'm just being me, being more like the crib, more like Florida. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking the way I talk. You know, and the coach was like, hey, like basically trying to check me on how I talk. I'm like, man, first of all, you ain't my mama. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only person I'm gonna listen to as far as me like correcting on how I speak a certain word or how I pronounce certain things.
Yeah.
And you know, we got into basically a measuring contest on who pecker was bigger than the others. And obviously, you know what I'm saying? To me, I won because obviously I ain't finna lose no argument because I'm just stubborn, you know.
Right.
At the end of the day, he kicked me off the football team. You know what I'm saying? So So he won that argument as far as like you say the mentality, man. Like
Right.
I had to really learn that and grow and actually be put in my place. Like being
Right.
kicked out of the football team, I just felt like that's all I knew was
Mm-hmm.
to play football, was the ball. Like I really like went in a downward spiral after that one. I end up, just hanging around Minnesota for a little while. I stopped going to school. I mean, I literally shut down the whole world. Like
Wow.
I didn't leave my house.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then kind of got a little depressed and whatnot, and then end up going back to Miami. Like every time something happened, I go right back to the crib. Sometimes Miami, how we fought to get out of Miami.
You
You
went
know what I'm
back.
saying? We fought so hard to get out. I always go back.
Mm.
So I end up meeting my wife in Minnesota, and I think that was the best thing for me. You know what I'm saying? That she she saw me in my darkest places, like from basically having nothing until now, where we basically to me like a power couple. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But like you say, the different mentalities on like I didn't know certain things and that she had to teach me, you know what I'm saying? And she ain't make me feel stupid about it. Like far as the financial things, like we ain't really was taught that, we was taught, hey, if we want to be financially set, we got to make it to the league. You know what I'm saying? Like she taught me there's other different avenues and different things that you can do
Right.
or how you save money. You know what I'm saying? Like I never saved money or even cared about a bank account. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm.
ran my credit cards up, you know what I'm saying, all that
Right.
stuff. And she was taught and was on a different level that a lot of people don't know. Like, but shout outs to her parents because they put her in that situation where she knows about those certain type of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I do now because of, you know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
I had to really like fall on my face first before I made any of that stuff happen. So, but as
Mm-hmm.
far as the accolades from being on the top of the world in high school to fight my way in college multiple
Mm-hmm.
times, and you know what I'm saying, and it ending the way it ended, I wish I would have known certain things coming up where, you know, I would have said, hey, football ain't everything, cause
Right.
eventually it's gonna end,
It's gonna end. Mm-hmm.
and I look back at it on yeah, like certain kids, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know that's your goal, I know that's your dream, but eventually it has to end. Um, I end up going back to Miami, coaching little league, you know what I'm saying, and trying to reach out to these kids. And basically, I told them straight up, this is what happened to me. This is my attitude. This is why I'm back here. If you want to make it out of here and stay out of here, you got to leave that attitude alone. You know what I'm saying? I,
Mm.
I tell kids from my experience, like, yeah, I effed up. You know what I'm saying? But look at me, but at the same time, I always tell kids, I want you to be better than me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Right. Right.
get your college degree. I was
Mm-hmm.
a college dropout. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had this one kid named Paul Anderson, one of many kids, but Paul Anderson for just to prove a point. I say, man, look, whatever you do in life, I don't care what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? He called me to pick him up for practice.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a school to check on his progress report cards. I mean, I did everything that normal coaches don't do, especially on the optimist level. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Just to let him know that, hey, we care about you. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and he had always told me, man, like, how can I repay you? I say, man,
Yeah.
the only way you can repay me, man, is get your college degree.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I
Yeah.
want. I want you to be
Okay.
better than me. Like I said, I don't have one. So actually, like last May, I got a phone call because he actually ended up going to the University of South Dakota,
Oh
which
wow.
this is where I'm at right now. He played ball. Yeah, he played ball. I was able to, you know what I'm saying, to look out for him as far as giving him that support system that we never have really had. Like we going off to these different places and we really don't know nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody.
So especially those holidays, as far as Thanksgiving when you got to go to the crib, but you can't go to the crib.
Oh man,
You know
that's
what I'm
like the
saying? He
worst.
was
That was the
always at my
worst.
house,
Yeah.
And yeah. So last May he actually got his diploma in engineering, and I told him, I said, man, that's like
That's
the
dope.
proudest moment for me. to
Mm-hmm.
know that you ask you to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, but as far as the different mindset, man, like I think we need to grow as far as educating these kids to let them know that sports ain't everything. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like I told
Yes.
I told Paul, I said, man, yeah, you may not have the collegiate accolades that you want to,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? But I said, when you get your degree, I said, you thought about coaching? You know what I'm saying? Like
Right. Right.
use your degree or you playing at that team and then be a student assistant. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? That opens up a different avenue for you
Yep.
that most people don't know.
Yep.
Because once you're a student assistant, then hey, you got that coaching experience,
Right.
and then you can apply for a coaching job. And guess what? You're a college coach. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying, or a high school coach, or whatever it may be. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like I wish I would have known that. Like knowing that, hey, me getting into the NFL at 5'7" and 100 pounds ain't really gonna cut it. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? But me being able to use my college experience, my high school experience to maybe give me a job in coaching, I think that would have been great for me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because obviously I would have been looking at a different avenue, not just size, but talent.
Your
You know what
mind
I'm
too.
saying?
And
A
you
lot
say
of
you had the
coaches,
mind
yeah,
too.
yeah. And like I could break down film to this day, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like easy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I see certain things, or when I was coaching Little League, like I ran the same defense we were doing in at Central, and we didn't give up no points.
Yeah. Yeah.
We didn't give up no points to the eighth game. We
Uh
had
huh.
7 straight shutouts. I
Yeah.
mean, I had some dogs. I mean,
Yeah.
I was running that 4-3. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? I was running everything. I ain't finna disclose our whole playbook, but hey.
You're right, because I gotta play you a Madden again and beat you.
Well, I'm on a whole different level on that Madden game. You know what
I'm
I'm
not.
saying?
I'm
So
not
if,
gonna
if
lie.
anybody want to challenge me in Madden,
Hey, I'll put a little blurb on your stuff about where to find you and all that, and I'll even put up the game that we played. Ain't no shame in my game. Eventually, I'm gonna get it
yeah,
back.
man.
I haven't been practicing. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie. I ain't played in a while. Probably since the last time I
yeah,
played you. But look, it don't take that long. It's
yeah.
football, man.
Yeah, it's football. Football is football.
Yeah,
But
man.
man, I'm really due to all the, what I'm saying, like certain people don't get up when they fall down, especially
Yeah,
as many times that I did, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And sometimes you need help getting back up.
yeah.
Like I said, man, every time I fell down, I had Thump, I had Chevin pick me up and say, hey, come to Akron. You know what I'm saying? I fell down. Hey, Regis, like, hey, come to this JUCO. Bam. I fell down again. I had my boy MJ say, hey, come to this D2. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like sometimes you just gotta listen and know that people know that you good, but sometimes you just can't do the things that I do as far as the self-destruct. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Because when I was at University of Akron, I was battling for the starting spot before I got ineligible to play. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And the guy I was battling with, his name was Reggie Corner. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he had a different mindset. He worked out. He ate right. He did everything you had to do on the field, off the field, and extra. And he
Mm.
ended up. I remember sitting on my couch watching the NFL draft, like being a fan that we always is after the game. Buffalo select third round Reggie Corner at the University of Akron. I'm happy for him, but
Wow.
I'm like, you know
Wow.
what?
Yeah.
Like, far as us being a freshman, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, going into that sophomore year, we were neck and neck.
Mm.
But I went down and he went up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And
Got you.
that was the difference. And that
Got
was
you.
the difference. But like he put in the work, like far as working out. He lift extra. He was stronger.
Got you.
Me and him was the same speed, but he was stronger. He put in that film work. Like you say, you gotta have the mentality, not just to go there and think you're gonna do it all. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he did. He had his mindset on, hey, I'm going to the league and I'm gonna get there. And he played
Mm.
in the league for like 4 years. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I still reach out to him
That's
every
what's
now and
up.
then because it's all about support.
It is.
Not
It
everybody gonna
is.
make it,
You're right. You're
but it's
right.
all about support.
You're
Like
right.
everybody that came out of Miami or every college that I went to that I know that made it, I'm their biggest fan. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even though I feel like, hey, I probably had more talent than them, but I'm their
Mm.
biggest fan because it's all
Mm.
about support. Because
Yeah.
when you leave Miami, it ain't no longer you the West or you the Central. you represent Miami.
Yeah.
So that's what you did. So
Yeah. Hey, yeah, you hit it right on the head. The question I want to ask is because, I've been on the line with Marcus, Ali, Jannard, Dino, Bird, right? And the thing is, just talking to guys, about the mindset, and like we all had like an attitude. You know what I'm saying? And I remember when I was in college, they were talking about them Florida boys and attitude. So I never understood because that was me. You know what I'm saying? And then now talking to you guys, y'all had the same edge. Why is that?
I think the biggest thing for us is failure. Like being scared to fail. You know what I'm saying? Like I was always little, so the first thing you do, like, hey, we could throw the ball against him. He smallest dude against,
right.
you know what I'm saying, on the field. So I had to have that edge and that attitude to just compete. So you can be like, you know what? I can't be trying this dude like this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, me and Regis was 5'7". I think Regis might have been 5'6".
He was 5'6". Regis was
at
short. Yeah.
yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Regis was fast, and when we went to this when we was at the junior college, we both was at corner, and me and Regis used to have bets with each other because we still had that Florida mentality. And one of our bets was each game, if a person had the most catches quad on them, had to treat lunch for the whole week.
Oh.
I kid you not. You know what I'm saying? I would lose to Regis because a guy had 2 catches quad on me, 2 hitches, and Regis only had 1. That was our mentality and our competitiveness.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that showed how good we was because we had that attitude and we had that swag, far as like, you know what? You ain't better than us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I tell people to this day, like out of all the levels that I done played at, the hardest was high school. You know what I'm saying? High school for me was like you had 21 Division I athletes every day. And then you had the guys that didn't get the accolades, but they were coming after your head too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of wish my kids would go to school in Florida so they can kind of have that little edge, but at the same time, I still gonna do what I gotta do because you can make it out of anywhere. You don't just gotta be Florida. You know what I'm saying?
My mic unplugged, man. My mic, I ain't even see that. Yeah, my mic unplugged. No, what I was saying that is I see some of your posts of your son playing. Right. Yeah, man. That's what's up, man. So how old is he?
Well, I got 2 boys, Mason 10 now. He didn't play last season because he broke his arm, but the videos that you were talking about was Tate 6, playing flag football. And I kid you not, man, I didn't even train with him. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that he did or he doing is like literally natural for him.
When the beat drop, I'ma give it straight to him like, give it to him, 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 give it to him. Now slide to the beat like, give it to him, give it to him, give it to him, give it to him, give it to him. I be cutting up like, move to the beat like, move to the beat like, move to the beat. Now slide to the beat like, move to the beat like, move to the beat like, move to the beat. Everywhere I go, I be cutting it up like, shake it up, shake it up, shake it up. I be cutting up like, shake it up, shake it up. Hold up, when the beat drop, I'ma give it straight to him like, give it to him, give it to him.
And I can honestly say that my son has a better mentality than I had did, because he wants it. You know what I'm saying? When I say he wants it, he wants it. Like I say, hey, Tate, you got to do this for football. Bam, done. This kid eating healthy at 6, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, candy not good for you, daddy. I can't play football if I eat candy. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's what's
and
up.
I try to tell my kids, every night do 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups. You know what I'm saying? My oldest son, he do it sometimes. But Tate like, man, I'm finna do it today, tomorrow. I'm gonna do 100 sit-ups You know what I'm saying? Instead of the 50, like I said, the mindset for him is way better than a lot of kids, and I feel that separates you from
It
a lot of
does.
other people because you will put in the work. Everybody don't want to put in that work. Me personally, I never wanted to put in that work. I was lazy. I did the bare minimum, but my son, like both of them, they good. You know what I'm saying? I won't tell them that out loud. They good, but I know how better they can be. You know what I'm saying? It's just that
Gotcha.
just being that father, I'm not gonna tell them they good, even though they good. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna push you to be great. But as long as you want it, though, you know what I'm saying? Like I tell them, like I ain't gonna waste my time. I'm gonna tell you one time, but if you want it, I got you, because I know what it takes to get there. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's what's up, man. Hey, man, you said some great things, right? So I want to know, just say, for instance, you have 2 sons, right? So the question would be, what type of advice would you give them? Because just say, for instance, they go to high school and they become student athletes. What type of advice would you give them if they say, hey, Dad, I want to make it to the NFL? What type of advice, knowing what we know from Miami, being from Miami, I know they're in a different position now, and you mentioned the stuff about the finances and everything that you know now. What type of advice would you give them?
For me, I tell them that you gotta work for it. I mean, even when you fall on your face, you gotta keep working for it. I mean, one of the biggest things that I see, that no matter your talent is, if you let somebody outwork you,
Right.
they gonna win.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's all about putting in that work. You got to put in that work when nobody don't see you doing it.
Right.
And I tell my kids, like, hey, after practice, y'all know me. We gonna practice 30 more minutes after practice. You wanna know why? Because that other kid ain't doing that.
Right.
The other kid ain't doing that. The other kid like, hey, I done had an hour practice, hour and a half. I'm finna just sit down, chill, play Madden or whatever it may be. That's fine and dandy. But if you trying to get to that next level, hey, let's get out here. I don't care if your mama yelling at you that you got to eat dinner or whatever it may be. Go do what you got to do.
Right.
Do it more than the next man.
Yeah.
So you on that same level. So there's no insecurity of you not making.
That's what's up, man. Hey, so another thing too, like just say for instance, the guys that are in Miami, you know what I mean? What type of advice would you give them, knowing just like everything that we went through, going to another state, not having much support and stuff like that? What type of advice would you get a high school athlete coming from, just say our school, Miami Central, those guys that just graduated? I mean, not graduate, they're going to graduate soon and transition to college. What would you tell those guys from our old stomping ground?
First of all, you one of the elites of the elites. No matter what your star rating is, you are great. Because to play for Central, to play for Northwestern, to play for Booker T and all those places, like you got to be on top of your game.
Right.
But when you go to out of state or college or whatever it may be, like humble yourself. Still be hungry, but humble yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like my biggest downfall was my attitude. And like you say, you got to have a little bit of it, but don't have too much of it.
Yes, you know? Balance.
Balance. Because like I told you, man, Cato, the coach, he loved my attitude on the field. He just ain't like it off the field. And that's a whole different ball game. You know what I'm saying? But no matter if you ain't getting the recruiting that you think that you're getting, man, NFL gonna find you. You don't have to go to D1.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I had to learn that the hard way. You can go to NIA, transfer to D2, they'll find you, man. You just got to put in the work. Yeah. All you need is those coaches to believe in you, which they already do, and just go out there and do what you've been doing since you've been little league football, or if you're a late bloomer like me, just do what you've been doing, man. Do that film work, do that extra stuff that you got to do, work hard, and just keep balling, man. You're going to get there.
Hey, that's some great advice, man. And mindset is everything. You know, if we could, you know, go in the past, which we can't, and learn from that. But I think you had a mindset of you thought you didn't fit in, but you put yourself in the crowd of those guys. You know what I'm saying? From the work that you did put in. So it's just kind of like seeing and being able to reveal to yourself who you truly are, because you were that guy, because everywhere you went, you did your thing. You know what I'm saying? So you were supposed to be there, but you never thought because of your mindset that you were supposed to be there. You know what I'm saying?
And I kind of think it was probably from, you know, looking at all the accolades, but look at what other people got. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody came to sit on my couch for a recruit pitch for me to go. Like I said, I didn't have no offer. So I think that played a part on me not feeling that I belong. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you look back at it, like, when people still mention my name, or remember the season that I had, you know what I'm saying, me looking back at it, and it's been almost 20 years.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying, and people still saying, hey, I may not remember that boy name, but that number 9, he was cold. You know what I'm saying? And like you say, you just got to put yourself at the table, man. And it's not all about football. You know what I'm saying? I had to take that same mentality when I started thinking about the financial part, as far as investing and stuff like that. I didn't know anything about stock, but you know what? I had these couple guys at work. It was like, hey, we finna start this investment group. I say, man, you know, no matter what the price is, let me get into it. And just to put yourself at the table until you start learning. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you got to be able to put yourself at the table so you can digest. And then, you know, things start just like football. You know, you may not know nothing at the beginning. So whatever you put yourself into, you may not know nothing at the beginning. You know everything about it, about themselves. You know about, you know what I'm saying, this quarterback, when he's finna run the ball, whatever. You got to look at those things. And you also got to take that detail and put it into everything else that you do too.
Right. That's dope, man. And that, having that mindset of at least, you know, coming to the table is basically accepting opportunity, and you have to be open to accepting different opportunities. And that's one thing, I guess, as adults now we know, but being from where we're from, we had like a one-track mind, and that's all we knew because everybody around us was telling us the same thing. You know what I mean? So I think it's good now. The world is a little different. We have more media. The kids have the social media. They have all the information out there in front of them, where, not saying like we were athletes. That was our path. But just like you said, that doesn't have to be your only path, even if you choose that path. You know what I mean?
Always good to like branch out and try new things, man. I had to learn that a little bit later on in life, that it's okay to do it.
Right. So we're gonna wrap. I have a little wrap up I do at the end where you're just gonna go fill in the blank, go ahead, wrap up our whole conversation, right? And I'm gonna say one thing, and you're gonna fill in the blank. All right. So to Vincent Leno, confidence is what?
All right, go ahead.
All right. So confidence is what to Vincent?
Confidence, like I said, you know, you gotta have it, man. I mean, don't have no doubt in yourself.
I love it,
because I feel like that played a big part in how I wasn't as successful as I should have been, because you had so many things, so many doubts that I put in my head. So you gotta have confidence.
And it's funny you say that. I think success is the eye of the beholder, because if you just think about the things that you did, even just being on the team and stuff like that, think about the people who didn't do that. You know what I mean? So success is, you know, to the eye of the beholder, just like beauty. All right. Yep. So attitude is what to Vincent?
Sometimes, I mean, attitude is great as far as you playing on the field, but you gotta check your ego, man. I feel like I have grown, you know what I'm saying? I have learned from my mistakes, but the main culprit of it was having that bad attitude that may have cost me a lot of good things in my life.
Okay, that's good. All right, last one. But this is not the last one, but this is my favorite one. And you mentioned it a lot in our interview, and I appreciate that, because people need to understand how this works. Mindset is what to Vincent?
It's everything, man, because you don't got the mindset to get the way you're going. Some people may not see that vision that you got, but you got a mindset to be like, hey, you know, I'm finna get it. I'm finna get there. And that's the only way you can be successful, because you got to have that mindset to do it.
That's what's up. So I love the self-awareness thing too, man. So last question, Vincent is who moving forward?
Man, I'm on my grown man stuff,
Okay.
man. You know what I'm saying? I'm a father of 3 beautiful kids. I'm married to my wife. I'm a family man now. But as far as everything else, you know what I'm saying? I just enjoy life. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everything that come my way.
Yeah.
You know, because not everybody is in the position that I'm in. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people may have went further, but they fell back down.
Right.
Some people don't get up, you know what I'm saying? So for me, you know what I'm saying? I'm living my best life, man. I'm enjoying everything, man. And I enjoy watching my kids, you know, live their best life. And that's all I live for, man. It's my kids, my family. That's it.
All right, man. Look, like I said, I appreciate you getting on and sharing your story. And like I mentioned before, success is in the eye of the beholder, because you have to think about everything you did and everything you conquered and everywhere you went, and how resourceful you was to even take the opportunity that was given to you. Because a lot of people after the first time would have said, you know what, I'm done. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But you kept at it, even though things didn't work out the way that you think things were supposed to work out. But I always feel like life always works out the way it's supposed to work out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You just gotta accept those little hurdles, man. And you may not see the light at the end of the tunnel, but it's always there, man. But like I said, man, I really appreciate everybody that helped me along the way, even if it was that little conversation, man.
Yeah.
And I tell kids all the time, you know, it's funny because you won't listen to your mama and daddy, but you'll listen to a total stranger.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But every total stranger in my life that came in my life at every blue moon helped me. I just didn't realize, but they was there to help me. And sometimes you gotta really listen to what they saying, because obviously they want you to do better.
Hey, I gotta end on that note right there. Boom. Like I said, we all go through that roller coaster of life. Why not have a guide to elevate your mindset? Jim out.